Yeah. See why I'm saying you all know that basic thing what is OBIEE, right? Actually, Oracle Business Intelligence Enterprise Edition is a reporting tool. By default, it is a reporting tool which has been developed by Oracle Corporation. So we all will have a question saying that when exactly this OBIEE will comes into life, when we will be working, at what kind of situation this OBIEE will be in usage to populate some reports or to do some tasks. Okay. Normally what happens, your data from an organization will be in a different format and it will be having bulk huge amount of data at the source system. And ETL team or a ETL process will be done on the data in order to cleanse the data and in order to transform and load the data into a single database or a multiple databases. Then you might have in your organization, you might have HR department, financial department and sales department, procurement, like that. That all data got cleansed and let us assume it got stored into one single database. Then we can call that database as a warehouse database, right? Where you will be having different types of data at one single database. That database can be called as a warehouse database. So you can ask me what is the different types of data you can have in a database. Yes, exactly. I can give you the best example. Suppose if ABC is one organization is there. So it got established in 1990. So over the years, like till 2013, it is having, we can say it is having 22 years of history or 23 years of history. Over these years, each and every year, that organization will have HR department, financial department, marketing department, sales department. And data will be get stored into each and every department, right? Each and every department will have a data and that data will be get stored into a database or a Excel sheet or a notepad file, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
So this stored data, can I call HR type department data as HR type data, financial department data as financial type data, marketing department data as marketing type data, right? So that data also will be get separated. HR department will have a set of HR data, financial department will have a set of financial data, and marketing department will have a set of marketing data. So all this data placed at one single database, which is then cleansed and exact output whatever you select from the database on a particular schema, which gives you a very good understanding about what happening in the organization over a period of years, 5 years or 6 years, whatever your customer wants it to be get displayed. Then that database will be called as warehouse database. What OBIEE can do, OBIEE can connect to any database. Either it is in real time, all the time will be connecting to like database which is an warehouse database, but you can connect to the normal databases also through using OBIEE. Once we connect using OBIEE to any database, we can import the data from the database and we can start building the reports into different types of visual formats. Now you understood, right? Whenever data is available in the database, whenever your customer wants, that data should be visible into a visualized format, which should be a very understandable format. Then how we can showcase that data and how we can provide it to the customer, we need to learn. Now you understood, right? What happens in real time?
Yes.
Yeah. This is how normally we can use it and we can design the things and we can make sure it works in the real time. Okay, at this point really OBIEE comes into life and it can extract the data from database and it can it can import the data from database which your database it is connecting and it can build the reports for the end user. Coming to history of OBIEE, first initially Enquire is one organization which generally started with its reporting tools, and after that Enquire acquired by Siebel and Siebel released a version called Siebel Analytics. Till today, some of the organizations are using Siebel Analytics. On the base platform of Siebel Analytics, Oracle designed a very best reporting tool that called as Oracle Business Intelligence Enterprise Edition reporting tool. And initially it started with the version OBIEE 10G, and now the version available in market is OBIEE 11G, and our training also will be going to be done on OBIEE 11G. Along with that, I am going to highlight you where exactly when compared to the older versions and what are the changes happened in the newer versions. In each and every topic what we are discussing, where the change happened and all, I'll be discussing everything in the training. Okay, next it comes as a developer or as a once you learn OBIEE and once you finish the training and once you are going for a job, you will be in a training position like which kind of position you will have is either you can have a developer, either you will be a OBIEE developer, or either you will be an OBIEE consultant. Whatever it is, your role will be different, but the role, depending upon the role, apart from administration, like apart from installations, apart from services, apart from architecture, apart from all these things, main things we need to learn to develop an OBIEE project is, one is repository development, we call it as RPD. RPD is nothing but repository development. Next is answers and dashboards. Answers and dashboards is developing the individual report, showcasing it onto the customer dashboard. Okay, developing each and every individual report and showcasing it onto the customer dashboard. That is how we can make sure our reports are developed with the data available at the database and showcase it to the customer. Normally, this repository development will be done in 3 layers. First layer we call it as an physical layer, and second layer we call it as a business model and mapping layer. Third layer we call it as a presentation layer. Can you all able to view it here?
Yeah.
And repository will be developed in 3 layers: physical layer, BMM layer, and presentation layer. Here I am showcasing you 3 layers. One is physical layer, one is BMM layer, and one is presentation layer. Can you all able to view?
Yeah.
I'll just give you an overview what exactly we will be learning in this 3 layer development of a repository. First, if your customer comes up to you and he will be asking you to build OBIEE reporting solution for his data which is available at his database. First, we need to build a repository for our project. That repository will be built in these 3 layers. First layer we call it as a physical layer, and second layer we call it as a business model and mapping layer, and third layer we call it as a presentation layer. In the physical layer, what we will do is, what exactly our OBIEE will do? OBIEE can connect to any database, right? Once it started connecting to the database, it should import the data from the database into the OBIEE environment. Where it will import the data from database into OBIEE environment? Data is nothing but tables and columns which are available in that database. Once we want to import the things, this particular physical layer, it will be getting imported. All the tables and columns which you want to import it from the database, and it will be getting imported into the physical layer. Once these tables and columns got imported into the physical layer, this physical layer tables and columns will be we are going to create a joins on top of this, because we want the data should be fetched from multiple tables in combination of fact and dimension tables and columns. We want to fetch the data. In order to make it work properly, we will be creating the joins, which actually we do. We write a join condition in the database, right? Like that we can make the join conditions happen here also into the physical layer. Once the joins are created, we will drag and drop the tables into the second layer. That layer we call it as a business model and mapping layer. By the name itself, it says business model and mapping. That means business model. That means we design the model. Like if your customer wants some hierarchies need to be created into the reporting solution, or he wants some calculation measures to be created into the reporting solution, which is not available as a column in the database end. We can create some calculations here in the business model. Like that, whatever it is required by the end user, business logic, that business logic will be built in this business model and mapping layer. We will be learning all those things in the training. And next it comes to the presentation layer. Once this business model is built, we will move the required tables and columns which we want to use it for our report building into the presentation layer. Once this is moved into the presentation layer, this presentation layer will have all the tables and columns which we can use it for our repository. Once we build with our repository, we will do a small process called as repository deployment. Okay, that is a small process we will do. Once the deployment process is done, this presentation layer of your repository will be available in the analytics. Analytics is a link which we will be using for report development. For that web-based link, this presentation layer will be available there. This presentation layer, using this presentation layer by selecting the tables and columns from the presentation layer, we can build the reports into this kind of visualized format. Can you able to view here? Why OBIEE is being very popularized nowadays is, see, if an organization head, let us assume we are having some vice president, associate vice president and senior business manager and all. They might not be a technical guys, right? They might not be a techie guys who can go back to database and write the SQL query and to pull the results and to see the data. They just want, whenever they are traveling or whenever they are in meeting, they want to showcase this is what our revenue from a particular product in a particular month and which got shipped, this is the highest revenue of this year or something else, like which is should be in very understandable format. A common layman should be able to understand once he started looking at the report. If someone explains him that report, it should be very easy to understand. That means data from the database will not be like that, but once we are using this OBIEE, you can showcase the data into this kind of visualized format. That is how OBIEE is being used in the real time. Now you understood, right, why we use OBIEE, and if you have any questions you can ask me.
Is there any benefit, as in?
Yeah.
I was asking you if there is any benefit to use OBIEE along with Oracle, or there is any extra benefit?
No. As per my knowledge, like OBIEE can connect to 17 databases. Okay. So OBIEE can connect to any database. It is not restricted to Oracle. But the thing is, like, people, if they are using OBIEE, it's an Oracle product, right? Client try to purchase Oracle database also. That's what happens in real time.
Hey, so this is Ashish. It can connect. Generally, people will connect to a data warehouse database, or do they connect it to a live database?
No, it depends on the project. See, in my previous projects, some projects we used to connect to directly warehouse database, and I worked for Standard Chartered, which is an Standard Chartered banking data will be an OLTP, right? It will be daily transaction data. That data also we can connect to that kind of database data, and we can pull that and we can showcase it into the reports. That means every day reports will get refreshed and new data will be populated into the next day reports.
So this doesn't have any performance considerations, like in my project, yeah, even we have production database, but we take a backup of it into flash copy, and usually they ask us to work on flash copy because database, they don't want database what you call any queries running at real time which can alter the working hours of the business hours.
Actually this OBIEE queries will not alter anything. What it will do, it will write a logic to the database, whichever database we are connecting from the OBIEE. It will tries to pull the results, that's all. It will not do any altering.
Okay.
Because it is not an ETL tool, it's just a reporting tool. It will connect to the database and it will try to showcase the data, whichever data you are selecting from the database, into different visualized formats. Now we understood, right, what exactly OBIEE will do. So I can show you one report building. That's why I'm asking. Here we are not going to write any query, but the thing is like OBIEE is having a best capability to hit the database, whichever database it is connecting, and it can showcase the results. Just wait. I think some clustering problem on my machine. I'll try to restart the services. We'll use the front-end tool to design the things. So I'm stopping my services and I'll showcase it to you. In the training, like we'll be having even installation also. I'll be guiding you and I'll be taking screen access of your machine, and I'll make you yourself install the OBIEE on your machine so that it will be easy for you to understand about the installation, because installation is little typical in OBIEE 11G. Apart from the older versions, OBIEE 11G is little typical. We need to learn that. Okay. And training goes every day 45 minutes to 1 hour of session. It will take minimum 20 days to finish the training, entire training. In this training, we'll get trained from the basic to the final end of report building and dashboard display. And apart from that, in my personal interest, I'm going to teach you introduction to BI publisher reporting also. How OBIEE reporting will differ from XML publishing reporting. That also I am going to explain you during the training. In the last session I am going to explain you. Every day you will be provided with an organizer privilege so that you can record this entire session, whatever I am teaching you, onto the screen. That session will be stored as a video file into your My Documents. Okay, video file into your My Documents. So that if you want to use it for your future purpose also, it can be directly played into any media player. Directly you can view that video and you can practice also. And practice documents as well as your interview preparation documents, the terms which you can use it. If you want to do some certification also, you can use that interview question, which will be very useful for you, and I am going to send you all those documents in the end of trainings. And moreover, I can give you one thing, like once you finish with this training, I can make you very confident in working with OBIEE. If someone comes to you and asks you what you know about OBIEE, you will be in a very confident position to say that these are the things happens in OBIEE and this is how we work with the repository as well as the reporting. But I cannot make you an expert in 20 days or 30 days. Expertise knowledge comes in once you started working on various and multiple projects. Okay. So if you are you can be in touch base with me even after the training in email or my mobile number, so that I can guide you if you want the best knowledge from the OBIEE, exploring a lot into the expertise. Okay.
Sure, sounds good.
So regarding this BI publisher, so will you help us to install on our machines BI publisher as well?
Yeah, everything I am going to help you. Don't worry.
Okay.
So once we install with OBIEE, here we'll have start BI services. Once we start with services, it will be get started. It will take 5 to 6 minutes of time to start this entire services. We'll just wait. Okay. If in meanwhile, if you have any questions, you can ask me. I'm ready to answer. And from tomorrow itself, a new batch is starting, 7 a.m. Indian Standard Time. If you can join by 6 o'clock tomorrow, 6 a.m. Indian Standard Time, what I will do, I'll try to brush up the things, the basic things of OBIEE, and I can make you start with the repository building from the 7 a.m.
So what are the requirements from machine perspective? How much RAM, how much space do we need?
RAM, if it is 3 GB is enough.
Okay.
Nitish. And Windows 7 or Windows XP also fine. Windows 7 Ultimate you should have, but I can suggest you the best configuration. You can see it on my machine, because in future if you want to go with some tools like Informatica or something else, this software will support you for all. Okay, this operating system.
Windows 7 Ultimate.
Ultimate. Okay.
Okay.
It will support you for everything. Oracle Database, OBIEE, Oracle Data Integrator, Informatica, BA apps, everything you support. Okay.
Okay.
Normally, once you purchase your laptop in US, you'll get with Windows 8 or something else, right?
Yeah.
Windows 7 Home Basic. Okay, that is the problem. But if we want purely that our machine should support for everything, then it's all the time best to have Windows 7 Ultimate.
Okay.
Your machine can be 64-bit or 32-bit. If it is 32-bit, we'll download 32-bit softwares and we'll install. If it is 64-bit, we'll do 64-bit softwares and install. Okay.
Okay. Actually, I have Windows 8 on my laptop.
Yeah, sometimes Windows 8 also working, Nitish, but it is not that much stable as Windows 7 Ultimate.
Okay.
Yeah, these are older versions, right? Windows
Yeah.
8 came recently 1 year or 8 months back. So it is not that much stable once we try to install these kind of softwares on that.
I have Windows 7 Professional.
Professional is also fine. Ashish.
Okay. Sounds good.
See here, I'm selecting some tables from here and some columns, whichever I want. My customer wants per name, year and brand, and some customers who are going to purchase that brand, who purchased that brand, and what is the revenue on that. If I click results, see, it will show me all the customers and the revenue on a particular brand pitch deck in a year 2008 year. Right? Can you all able to view it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Here I am not writing any SQL, right? But I will show you the exact SQL logic. What we are expecting to write, it is going to send the exact SQL logic. See, OBIEE is sending this logic. Can you all able to view it?
Yes.
Yeah, this is done. Now, again I am going to criteria. Here we have customer name, right? So I am trying to filter the customer name. Okay, that means I am trying to filter each and every customers. Some customers I want to filter. Normally during the query we will use a logic called as where customer name is in. Okay, so that it will display result as is in, it is going to filter. The same logic it will apply here. See, where customer is in, you understood, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now my customer, by default it is showing a tabular format view, right? Where you can easily understand. In 2008 year, these are the brands. On each brand, these are the customers and what are the revenues depending on each customer, right? Now my customer he wants to display some graphical format for this. So I'm trying to build him a report. These all things we'll be learning in training. Okay, don't worry, I'll take care of all this. See now, if I click play, see how graphical it is changing. Can you all able to view it?
Yeah.
Right? If I move my cursor onto any one of the colors, see which pop-ups a screen and shows that particular customer color and which brand he belongs to and what is the customer name, what is the revenue generated on that particular customer in that brand in which year. You all understood, right, what we are doing? So it will be very easy for the higher management to understand about the data, what is available at the database. Okay, this is how OBIEE is being very popularized nowadays for building the reports. You all understood,
So
right?
this is what the user will see, like the
Yeah,
dashboard?
this is
report?
no, this is not a dashboard. This is an individual report. We'll collect multiple reports and we'll showcase it onto the dashboard.
Okay.
Okay, we'll build individual reports and we'll display it onto a single screen. That screen we call it as a dashboard.
Okay. So we can have multiple variables. Like right now it is a time, right? Year 2008, 2009, 2010.
Yeah.
So we can have more than that, like the products, or
Yeah. We can
I
drag
mean,
and
what
drop.
I'm saying is, yeah. Okay.
Rather selecting UI, here you want to select some brand or some products, right? It should be get filtered.
Right.
Yeah, it
Dynamically.
will do the same way. Don't worry, it will do the same way.
Mhm.
Those all things we'll learn in the training, like how we can use that, how we can make it work.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
basically
guys.
the user will
Yeah.
user
will
be
be-
able to
Yeah.
understand from the report, not just like what we present, but he can also go in and kind of explore.
Exactly.